Hellcat.
What's up, Sports Galaxy? Mock Draft 3.0. Thank you for all the support. If you want more of these, please subscribe. If you like this type of content, always like, comment, subscribe, share so more people watch these videos. Thank you for all the support. The last two mock drafts have gotten respectively 1,800 and 700 views while I'm recording this. You'll probably see this on Friday. So let's get right into it. First pick in the NFL draft. I'm gonna have the Cincinnati Bengals selecting the NCAA national champion leading quarterback, Joe Burrows. And he also won Heisman, which is even better. Joe Burrows had an amazing year this year, proving he's clearly the best player in the draft. Any other people that people might think could be drafted here is Chase Young out of Ohio State. I can't really see anyone else. Maybe Tua if he does amazing at the combine or something. But yeah, that's the first pick in the draft. Next, best non-quarterback in the draft, easily, maybe even best player in the draft. I'm going to have the Redskins go with defensive end. Chase Young out of Ohio State, amazing year. He's probably one of the best defensive ends I've ever seen. At the college level, he was easily the best edge rusher in college this year. And he's going to be probably a top 3 pick no matter what. I can't see him really falling just because of how talented he is. And yeah, let's get right into number 3. And right before I say that, there's no trades in this draft, so whatever the pick is either like the value of the pick or the team need. I can't really make trades in this, so that's just not how the mock draft is going to go. And at pick number 3, I've had this in my first 2 mock drafts, but at 3.0, I'm going to have them also taking cornerback Jeffrey Okudah out of Ohio State. Huge position of need is cornerback. He's great. I can't really see them taking anyone else because obviously Darius Slay's getting older in age, and also he'll help them be the second cornerback, and he'll also help them be the number 1 in the future when Slay is no longer with the team. And I feel like at this pick, he'll help their team a lot. They have a lot of holes, but I think cornerback's definitely one of them. I could also see them drafting quarterback at this position, which is a pretty underrated take. I haven't really heard many people saying that, but yeah. At 4, Giants, I could see them taking a bunch. I can't really see them taking a bunch of players. Some people say they're going to take Isaiah Simmons. Some people say they're going to take all over the place. I'm going to have them taking offensive tackle out of Georgia, Andrew Thomas. The thing is that some people might think they're going to take Jedrick Wills, but I feel like Andrew Thomas is definitely the better pass blocker, and pass blocking is very important in the NFL, especially with the Giants. They do a lot of pass, and they got some good young receivers in like Darius Slay and Sterling Shepard, and even Evan Ingram. But I feel like with this pick, they'll definitely go offensive lineman. I feel like it's a huge position of need. Defense is also important, but I feel like they want to protect Daniel Jones, has a huge fumbling problem, and O-line's only going to help out with that. At number 5, I am going to have them. I'm going to have the Dolphins take quarterback out of Oregon, Justin Herbert, who the Dolphins have publicly shown interest in. I feel like Tua's injury concerns, getting hurt like the last 2 years, are going to be a big red flag, and I feel like Justin Herbert might just bring more to the table than Tua Tagovailoa, and I think they're going to take Justin Herbert. They're both a little raw. It's hard to say who has more potential in the league. They're both great quarterbacks, but I think that since Miami has publicly announced that they're very interested in him, and also because of his no injury concerns, I feel like taking him at 5 would be a very smart pick, and I think they might honestly do that in the draft. At number 6 with the Chargers, last mock draft I had them taking a quarterback. Phillip Rivers moved out of out of LA. So he's definitely not returning to a team. So they definitely need a quarterback. But with the team they're putting together, I think a young quarterback won't really help their team. I feel like right now they're trying to win. I think they're gonna go free agency or trade for a quarterback because I think right now their goal is to win. Like same thing with the Bears and teams like that. They got the good enough team to win. I feel like young quarterbacks aren't gonna help them. They need a great quarterback. Some names might be like Cam Newton, even trading for players. Anyone really, you could go anywhere. So tackle's definitely a big need looking at him on paper. And since Tristan Wirfs is a superior pass blocker and maybe even more athletic than Jedrick Wills, I'm going to have them take him with the 6th overall pick in the draft. Yeah, he's a great offensive lineman, very athletic out of Iowa. I feel like he'll help the Chargers a lot. That's all I have to say about that pick. At number 7, I think Derek Brown's pretty safe for this pick, but if I'm the Carolina Panthers and I see a quarterback available right now, considering their best quarterbacks are like Cam Newton, who's probably on the way out, and Kyle Allen, who had a very underwhelming season last year, I'm going to have them taking Tua Tagovailoa out of Alabama. He had a great tenure in his whole college football career. I feel like at the next level, he's going to be a great quarterback just because of simply how talented he is. And I feel like the Panthers, they're young. They want the quarterback of the future. They don't want to keep getting these little quarterbacks, even though Cam Newton was an amazing quarterback, but they're done with him. They don't want Kyle Allen. That's going to be the domino effect. They're going to keep getting new quarterbacks. No, they want one right now. And that's why I'm going to have them taking Tua Tagovailoa out of Alabama. Don't know if I pronounced his name right, but I don't really care. At number 8, I feel like the Cardinals are probably going to take a tackle. I could definitely see them taking a wide receiver, but this is definitely a 3-tackle draft, and luckily one of them's still available, who is debatably the best one in this whole class, and that is Jedrick Wills out of Alabama. You know what they say, Alabama offensive linemen usually do terrible in the NFL, but the thing about Jedrick Wills is you can't deny his athleticism. I feel like at the next level he's going to be very good. There's some concerns with pass blocking, but I feel like his pass blocking is good. I feel like the other 2 guys in the draft are just a little worse, but I feel like taking Jedrick Wills is the right pick at number 8. At number 9, I've had this in my other 2 mock drafts as well. I'm going to have them going with speedy, versatile linebacker out of Clemson, Isaiah Simmons. I've kind of fallen in love with this man. He's no homo. He's an amazing player out of Clemson. He's so versatile. He's all over the field. You could really be seeing him playing in coverage, linebacker, safety. He's just everywhere. He's huge. He's got great ball skills. There's just no denying him at 9, and he'll be a very great player for the Jaguars. I've also seen people taking wide receiver for the Jaguars, but I feel like a bigger need for them is definitely linebacker because Telvin Smith retired. And I feel like their wide receivers right now are somewhat serviceable with D.D. Westbrook and Chark. I don't think they really need to build off of that. And if there's a quarterback available by any means, I think they might take that quarterback just because. And they might go with Minshew or Nick Foles. I think they should trade Nick Foles if they even get an opportunity to. But Isaiah Simmons out of Clemson, linebacker, will be the best selection right here. At number 10, biggest need for the Browns is a tackle. All 3 of the good ones are gone. I don't think they're going to really reach up for one. So I'm going to have them taking someone who I think is very good. I've had him going lower in my mock drafts, but the thing is that not many teams need a safety. The biggest one is definitely at 17 with the Cowboys, but this player is too good to be taken this late, and that is safety out of LSU. He's all over the field. Like, it's so crazy how he's all over the field, like every single play. That is Grant Delpit. There's no denying his athleticism. He's such a great player. I could see him playing a couple different positions in the NFL, like safety, corner, obviously. But I think he's just such a big playmaker. He's like an X factor for a team. He'll bring you to the next level. And I think with the Browns, offensively, they were fine last year with Nick Chubb, Odell, Jarvis Landry. Baker Mayfield was a little problematic, but yeah, I feel like they need defense, and Grant Delpit is a pretty good player to help out your defense. And next, we have number 11, which is the Jets, and I'm going to have the Jets taking amazing wide receiver out of Oklahoma, CeeDee Lamb. You could debate all you want who's better, CeeDee Lamb or Jerry Jeudy, but I just have to say, CeeDee Lamb, just run after the catch. You need playmakers in the NFL. It's going to help you. But the Jets, their deal is that they have Robbie Anderson, who's probably their best receiver, but he's probably going to leave in free agency, which is probably what he's going to do. And after free agency, if he does decide to re-sign, I feel like this pick is going to be different, selecting someone else. But yeah, his run after catch is definitely something you can't deny. And with a lot of older receivers on this team, a young receiver for the future to build with Sam Darnold will definitely not hurt, and he'll be a very effective player at 11. CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver out of Oklahoma. At number 12, we're going to go back to the other wide receiver who's amazing. And we're going to pick Jerry Jeudy. I think I've had this pick in a couple mock drafts. Jerry Jeudy is he's the one or two best receiver in this class. And yeah, there's nothing much else to say. He's just outstanding, and he'll help the Raiders who need a receiver, because their best receiver is Tyrell Williams, and that's not going to win you anything. So they're definitely going to do Jerry Jeudy, and I feel like that might even bring them to he might even be the best receiver on that team overnight. And yeah, so next pick is number 13. The Colts are picking. Interior D-line is definitely a position of need. I don't think they're going to go receiver or quarterback. They could go receiver, which I've had in mock drafts. I think Henry Ruggs is a pretty good pick, but with this best player available, position of need, Derek Brown slips pretty far, but I think that this is a very big possibility. I could see him going far in the draft just due to team needs. Derek Brown, he's very good, he's very versatile, but I don't think here might even be the best place for him just due to the talent in this draft. There's a lot of talent in this draft. But I'm going to have them go Derek Brown out of Auburn. He had a very good tenure at Auburn, especially this season, playing amazing all over the field. Not all over the field, he's a defensive tackle, but he was amazing at stopping the run, closing out the pocket. He'll be a great player in the Colts. He'll help the Colts down the road. Next at 14, I'm going to have the Bucks taking a quarterback out of Utah State, who is Jordan Love. The Colts have showed a lot of interest in him too, but I think they're going to end up rolling with Brissett in the long haul. And yeah, so after that, at 15, we have the Broncos picking, and I'm going to have them taking receiver out of Alabama, Henry Ruggs Jr., which is their biggest position of need by far. Tackle, there's not really any good ones left. No, there's still good ones. I can't be mean, but like the three big dogs who would be taken around here, they're all taken because it's a huge position of need. But wide receiver is a big position of need. Like, they need their speedy guy. They got Cortland Sutton's like a good outside. They need a good slant guy, and Henry Ruggs just fills that perfectly. He's just so athletic. He's might be the fastest receiver or even player in this whole draft. He's going to be a big playmaker for this Broncos team. And pair him with Drew Lock. Oh my gosh, this is going to be such a good offense. And I think they're going to go with Henry Ruggs with the 15th pick in the draft. At 16, this is a pretty boring pick, which will definitely help the Falcons. But their secondary is just complete garbage. There's no denying it. Like Trufant, Alford, they both had pretty bad years. They definitely need another cornerback to help out the team. And that's going to be debatably the best cornerback in this draft, Christian Fulton. He did amazing at LSU. There's no denying that. And yeah, there's not much else to say about that pick. At 17, do you see a cornerback at the bottom of the list at C.J. Henderson? I'm not going to have them go with him, even though it says their biggest position of need. I think their biggest position of need is safety, and there's not any good safeties. You can go with Xavier McKinney, but I think this is too early to pick him. So I'm going to have them going with best player available, which is definitely very possible, which will very help their defense just because of how good of a player he is. This is their fourth position of need, which is probably still a huge position of need. But AJ Epinesa is just such an amazing player out of Iowa. I'm going to have him going with him with the 17th overall pick in the draft. He did amazing at Iowa. He's just so big. He's so athletic. He's such an impact player. And he will be such an impact player in the NFL. And the Cowboys are going to luck out with taking AJ Epinesa, edge rusher out of Iowa, at the 17th overall pick. 18th overall pick, the Dolphins already got one big pick out of the way where they needed a quarterback. Next is edge. And that's exactly who they're going to take. Extremely athletic, like speedy edge out of LSU and K'Lavon Chaisson. One of my friends made a mock draft the other day, and he had K'Lavon Chaisson going like really late, like at like 26 or even later than that. But I think 18's a pretty good spot for him. He has raw athleticism, his ability to get to the passer. And I feel like 18's a good spot for him. He will help the Dolphins a lot. But one thing about him is I think he's a little more raw than maybe the average player. But yeah, at 19, the Raiders definitely need a cornerback more than a linebacker looking at their team. Their linebackers are decently serviceable, but I think cornerback is a huge position of need. Even though there isn't any good linebackers anyways around here. Maybe Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma, but I'm going to have them going with Trayvon Diggs, very good cornerback out of Alabama. Oakland will luck out with this pick considering he's very athletic. He's a very good coverage and zone coverage cornerback, and I think that he'll be very good at the next level and help a team that is in somewhat desperate need for a cornerback. So with the 19th pick, Trayvon Diggs is being selected cornerback out of Alabama. Next pick, we got 20. Biggest position of need for the Jaguars is... sorry, I had to make another video because I got called by someone. But, yeah, we're at number 20 right now. Biggest position of need is wide receiver. I don't necessarily agree with that. But since there's such a good wide receiver on the board, I think I have to take him. And at number 20, I'm going to have the Jacksonville Jaguars taking T. Higgins out of Clemson. He has great ball skills, being able to moss players. His route running is great. He's just proven he's a very valuable player and will be a very great player in the NFL. He's very fast, route running. You get the gist. T. Higgins is an amazing player. I could definitely see him falling later. I could definitely see him going earlier. I feel like Combine will kind of help or destroy his stock, so we'll just have to see in the long run. But we're going to have him going 20 T. Higgins, wide receiver out of Clemson to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Number 21, he's been on the board for a little longer than I would have thought, but C.J. Henderson, cornerback out of Florida. Earlier in the year, he's going to the Eagles, by the way. Earlier in the year, I definitely saw this man going a little higher, I'd say. Like a tiny bit higher, maybe like at 15-ish, but he's at 21 now. I could definitely see him. I can't really see him going any higher than this, but he can definitely fall. The Eagles, they got torched by Devontae Parker, which is crazy considering he's a little raw. He had a breakout year, though. I don't want to make this video about Devontae Parker, though. The Eagles desperately need cornerbacks. They're going to probably re-sign Jalen Mills and Ray McLeod, which I don't think will help their team that much because they're very average players. But they desperately need another cornerback, or a good cornerback, and C.J. Henderson. So with the 21st pick, Eagles select C.J. Henderson, cornerback out of Florida. Next at 22, I wish I could get this player higher, but I just can't. We're going to be taking wide receiver out of LSU and Justin Jefferson, who ends up jumping Laviska Shenault in this video just because of he's got an inch on him in height, and also he's just been more successful in college, and I feel like seeing that, it translates. Laviska Shenault can obviously be better, but just how successful Justin Jefferson was in college, I feel like that's going to translate directly to the NFL. He's a very, 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 very good receiver. Pairing him up with Joe Burrow, the number 1 pick in the draft, was definitely beneficial to him. But I think pairing him up with Josh Allen in the NFL, he'll show out. Bills definitely need a wide receiver. Their best receivers right now are Cole Beasley and John Brown. John Brown's very good. Don't take anything away from him. But they definitely need another receiver if they want to contend. And I feel like Justin Jefferson's that guy. And he might be the missing piece for a playoff push. And number 3, the Patriots need a tight end, which I don't think first round. The best guy's out of Purdue. I don't think he's good enough to be picked at 23, maybe a second rounder, mid-second rounder. Edge, there's not really any good edge rushers around here. Offensive tackle, I don't really trust Mekhi Becton out of Louisville. I don't think he'll be good at the next level. And I also think this is a bigger position of need for the Patriots, which is Javon Kinlaw, so this team doesn't get run over all the time. Their secondary was very good this season, but their run stopping wasn't amazing. Javon Kinlaw out of South Carolina has recently gone up along the stocks. Looking at a picture, you don't really think he's 300 pounds, but he is. I think he's at 309 pounds. He's a great player. He's great at stopping the run, which will definitely be beneficial to the Patriots. I think he'll be a starter right away. Hopefully he's not a bust at interior defensive line like Malcolm Brown was a couple years ago out of Texas. But Javon Kinlaw out of South Carolina, he's going to be probably very good at the next level and very beneficial to the Patriots. So at 23, the Patriots take Javon Kinlaw, defensive lineman out of South Carolina. Next pick, we got the Saints. Same pick I've been taking in all my mock drafts. I just feel like he's the best player at this pick. And I'm going to have them taking Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma, another guy who's all over the field. Looking at the Saints roster, the depth chart, you can definitely see linebackers are their biggest position of need by far. And that's what I'm going to have them taking. Out of Oklahoma, he was all over the field. He'll be another... He kind of had the feel of Roquan Smith, definitely looking at him. But their other guy, Davis, who was an all-pro player, Demario Davis, I feel like him being paired with Kenneth Murray is kind of just unfair for the NFL. So I'm going to have them at 24, the Saints taking Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma. At 25, another boring pick for a team that desperately needs a cornerback. I'm going to have them taking cornerback out of Clemson, A.J. Terrell. I don't know how you would take away his college football playoff game against LSU. Definitely playing against some of the best receivers in the whole country. But in my takeaway, I thought he made a couple good plays, even a couple bad ones. But I think that overall he did very good. And I think that them taking him here will help them a lot in their secondary. There's not much to say. Xavier Rhodes had a terrible year. Trey Waynes, their team isn't good. I'm just going to say their team isn't good. Not their team, their secondary. Besides Harrison Smith, but their cornerbacks. Cornerbacks are just not good. And A.J. Terrell is probably going to give them a fresh start and give them a guy who can lock down a number one receiver. At 26, many people probably think that the Dolphins are going to be taking Mekhi Becton, but I feel like when you're starting Patrick Laird at running back's definitely a bigger position of need. I think this is a round where the first running back's going to be selected in this draft, and it's simple who I'm going to have them take. I'm going to have them taking DeAndre Swift out of Georgia. Let's finish this real quick. At 27, I'm going to have them taking Yetur Gross-Matos out of Penn State, big position of need. And yeah, at 28, I'm going to have the Ravens taking Shenault. And 29, I'm going to have them taking Titans taking Raekwon Davis out of Alabama, who's a beast. At 30, Packers need a receiver, Jalen Reagor. And last pick, 31, Chiefs need a running back, J.K. Dobbins. And at 32, they desperately need a cornerback. I'm going to have them taking Bryce Hall. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and peace out, Galaxy. What's up, Galaxy gang? This is me post-video. I'm editing right now. I just wanted to say I'm sorry that the video's that it ended. I didn't get to explain the last couple of picks. That's only because I saw the video, the time was getting very long, and I didn't want to make you watch a very long video. That's all I'm going to say. Please like, comment, subscribe, and peace out, Galaxy Gang. Ugh.